Hey, how's it going? I wanted to talk about Stranger Things, season 4, part 2. Um, I like the show. I wanted to review the show, but I also want to talk about something that I've noticed. It's sort of an alarming trend when it comes to series and movies these days. And yeah, people just keep talking about it, and I want to address it. And I'll also mention that this is going to have spoilers in it. It's not like super, heavy spoilers where I'm going through each and every plot point, but I will be talking about some pretty spoilery things in the video. So, if you're not up for that, yeah, uh, don't watch it. But then again, why would you be watching a season 4 part 2 review if you didn't want spoilers? This second part of season 4 starts off with everyone sort of continuing their missions or whatever they're doing, um, from the end of part 1. And the problem was, even though it had been only a couple of weeks, I had already forgotten what was going on between 11 and 1. Like I was like wait a minute. So wait, what happened? What did she do? Okay, yeah, gotcha. And it actually took both me and my wife both a little time to kind of get our feet again. You know what I mean? I think any time that you do any sort of split between a season that's or episodes that are so closely connected, you do need a recap just for everyone to be reminded, oh yeah, that's what's going on. And if people don't want to watch that, skip it. But it definitely would have come in handy here because it took us about 30 minutes to be like, oh yeah, that's what was going on. Gotcha. Right. In fact, I think for my wife, I think that was the biggest problem she had with the entire season was that the part 2 was completely separated by a few weeks, and that was annoying to her. But to me, it makes, I was trying to explain to her that it makes sense from Netflix's point of view. You not only get, a lot of people that might subscribe for 2 months in that period, one for season 1 or for the part 1 and then one for part 2, but then it also keeps the conversation going, online especially. And that's really, really important these days because the more people talk online, the more people go, hey, I've heard about this thing. I kind of, maybe I need to check it out. Or it might remind people that, oh yeah, this thing is out. I need to go watch that. For me, the Russian part of the story was the least moving, the least interesting. I was just kind of like, all right, let's get back to the, and that's a big deal because I like Hopper, I like Joyce, I like Murray. I liked these characters. I just didn't find their story as compelling as the other sides of the story because they kept everyone separated out, and especially the way that 11 joined with the fight against Vecna via the ice cream or the cooler, whatever it was, freezer, whatever it was. Because of that, it kept a lot of the people outside of the action. A lot of the characters were completely removed from the story, And I mean, they kind of tried to do it where, oh, well, Mike can, support 11, and it was just kind of like, yeah, but I don't know. It took away a little bit of the drama because really you had, I mean, when it comes down to it, you had 11, you had Max, you had Lucas, and the bad guy right there, that he was like fighting. I don't know why I'm doing that. They were doing much more than that. But you know what I mean? It's like that was where the meat of the story was, and it felt like everyone else was completely removed from it. For me, of the entire season, the one that just kind of surprised me as far as acting was Caleb McLaughlin as Lucas. His reactions when he's sort of holding Max there at the end is like, wow, I was really impressed with what he was doing there. And yeah, I mean, it was shocking actually, and actually almost pulled the tears out of me. But come on, man, why Eddie? Seriously, why? I don't know. It just I didn't like that they got rid of Eddie, and then immediately after they're basically kind of alluding to the fact that Max is gonna go too, and you're like, really? Okay, so you're gonna take out Murray too? So one character from each of the groups that I really are my favorites, those are the ones you're gonna take out? Like, what's going on here? Now, my biggest single criticism for the entire season is the runtime. A lot of people were posting online, pictures of oh, look at how long each episode is. Like, that's some indication of quality. I mean, I've talked about this a little bit on the live stream too. We talked about it with Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan felt like in a lot of cases it didn't need to be an entire series. It could have been a movie. In this case, I feel like they're really just pushing and padding the story and the runtime to try to get some sort of watch time thing. I mean, maybe that's what it is, but some scenes just felt completely bloated and then unimportant to begin with. I mean, some people say, well, no, all of the things that happened because, that's what the story needed. Yeah, but there were so many misdirects that were written in that I feel like didn't need to be there. I felt the length in both parts of the season. And look, I get it. There's a lot of people that love those moments, little character moments and all that. All those things are great. But the thing is, when you're doing things that don't really drive the plot forward and don't matter in the big scheme of things, that's where things get a little strange. And then there's certain scenes that felt like misdirects on purpose. Like, oh, we've got to go get this thing. Okay, well, let's go get this thing so we can get that thing. And then they get there and they go, oh, well, we didn't need that thing in the first place. And you're like, then what was the point of even going through all that? It's unneeded. In a way, I get it. From Netflix's point of view, it's all about watch time. And any way that they can pad out a show or a season, something especially like Stranger Things that's so popular, I get it. You want to extend that watch time. You want to extend the time that people are spending in this universe that you've created. And I even get it from on the viewer point of view. That this is, for a lot of people, this show is like comfort food. And you want to spend as much time in that world as you can. I get all that. But why not do this? This is just an idea. And Netflix, if you want to take this idea and run with it, you go right ahead. But from my opinion, why don't you do this? You would do a lean, concise cut of the season, and that's what you release at first. You release this very, very tight story, this well-written, perfectly paced story, and you put that out. And then, I don't know, a couple of months later, 6 months later, however long you want to wait, you come back and you do this extended version. And you go, oh, you got to see the extended version. There's all this other stuff, right? But it's more, I think that would be a better thing to do than to just pad out one season. And then once everybody's watched it, they're like, okay, I'm done. The diehards will go back and watch it multiple times anyway. I get that. But at least this way, you're going to get somebody like me to probably watch it again. Because I don't think I'll go back to this season. This might sound like I'm being like down on the season. I'm really not. I really, really enjoyed this season. In fact, I'm really looking forward to season 5. I want to see how this all wraps up. And there was a lot of people that were complaining about the Return of the King, multiple endings. I loved it. I really did. I enjoyed a lot of that. Didn't quite get me tearing up as some of the previous seasons did, but this one definitely was very, very good. And I even think that maybe this is probably the best season since the first. I mean, that's pretty good, right? So, Stranger Things, Season 4, Part 2. Of course, a lot of people have seen it. I know that. But let me know what you're thinking down below. Did you like this as much as I did? Do you have the same kind of issues that I do? Or are you going, Rob, come on, man. It's just, just hang out in the world. It's fun. Let me know what you're thinking down below. We'll talk about it. So, anyway. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.